we're back for Game 3 of BlackBerry versus National Instruments in the After Hours Gaming League Week 2. These players look very nicely matched according to the borders around their portraits. Can't really ever tell by that, though. The only way to gauge the middle of a player is by playing him. We have a TVP here on Heavy Rain. Should be good. Up in the top spawning position here, we have our red Protoss player for Team National Instruments. It is SolidLuck. And its opponent down in the bottom spawn position, we have the blue Terran playing for Team BlackBerry, ProfFrink. And this is going to be a very epic game once we build workers, which is the route that both of them have decided to start with. I fully commend them for that. Really the best choice here, unless you're Zerg. Zerg has options with his starting worker. Everyone else, build it. You may as well. Starting with a bit of a wall here. Not walling in against Protoss. Very risky. And up here, the pylon near the Nexus. Definitely what I recommend against Terran. Not only is a wall here, you're just going to get in your way half the time, but you're also going to be able to produce probes uninterrupted. The Protoss initial supply block is one of the hardest to get right. If you just have your pylon too far from your Nexus, then you'll build it, and you build it at 9, you'll build it too late so that you'll be supply blocked for a short period of time and not producing that 11th probe. But you build it close to your base, you can minimize that supply block, and you can actually be building probes non-stop from the start of the game till at least your second pylon. Which Protoss players like myself, who are off-racing as Protoss, usually mess up on. I just don't understand how to avoid supply blocks as the other races. You have to actually go find a worker and place a building individually to get more supply. With Zerg, it's all hotkeys, no looking, no thinking about it. But the other races, well, I don't know why they ever manage to get, why they don't manage to get supply blocked in every game. All that manually placing buildings down is just terrible. So far, some good scouting from both. We've got a fairly conservative opening from ProfFrink here. No Reaper just yet, starting with Marine. A bit safer in case of the Zealot proxy. I'm not sure if he was expecting that. We've got this Gateway first, actually building a Zealot. We'll see if that finishes. It's been very trendy recently to cancel the Zealot late in production. There's a little trick that helps you defend against cheese that actually spending that 100 minerals. And the Cybernetics core is finished. He does cancel the Zealot. He's got nothing in case a Reaper comes out next. It's not. This is just going to be a Marine factory. Very conservative opening by ProfFrink against a very economic opening up here by SolidLuck, and that's going to give SolidLuck a slight edge going into the game with the second base producing so much faster and the additional mineral income. I'm surprised a lot of Terrans by now would be starting that second base inside their main just so that they can get the extra SCV production and still wait until it's safe to go out and take that second base. But with the factory in Starport and the Widow Mines, I'm going to be guessing that we're going to try to have a 1-1-1 Widow Mine drop happening as ProfFrink's opening move. Might have gotten the gas a bit late for this. Normally you don't have time to get up so many Marines before the drop if you're doing a 1-1-1 opening. But he's not entirely going for the cheese. Looks like he is going to try and take an expansion relatively quickly. And since he's seen the very economic building opening of his opponent, he has no real need to be safe and secure about this. He can just, once the scouting probe is gone, build immediately on the low ground. That's going to be quite safe. If this one Stalker decided to pressure, then there might still be some trouble, but he should be able to hold that quite easily. And often Terrans will put a bunker at the front just to prevent that. At least, until there's Blink. But with a Robo starting, I don't think we're going to be seeing Blink first. Depends on whether that's Twilight Council. No, it's Forge. Probably a more conventional Robo-based Gateway-assisted army. And he's supply block, but it looks like he's ready for the Widow Mine drop anyways. So, there's the medevac, there are the mines. And they're going to throw in some Marines, so this is going to be our first attack of the game. While everyone goes and sits up, building up 2 bases, we're instead going to have this medevac going out trying to win the day, or at least win back some of that economic advantage that SolidLuck has started with. As you can see, the worker count significantly in the lead for SolidLuck. He's barely built any defensive units. Of course, the Observer, Stalkers, and Relationship Corps is an excellent set of defensive units that he should be able to use to clean this up really quickly, with minimal effort, maintaining his probe lead. The question is, does he do that well? We'll have to wait and see. Warp Gate finishing up, that will also allow him to get even quicker reinforcements. And we're in the base. So, Marines shooting at the probe. Mine takes out one of the Stalkers, that's good. Nexus Cannon, bit too powerful, and there's the detection, so they'll be able to easily clean up all the mines. Medevac just going to run around and try for the next base. Now everyone's there. It's a shame he couldn't pick up any of the mines. All those probes clustering in as they lined up. That would have been a great mine shot. One of those mines didn't even get off a single shot. It would still have its recharge up. But no, we've just got 3 Marine pressure here. Not that great. If the Stalker doesn't micro, they can take that out. But instead, much better for them to be focusing on probes. Relationship Corps still quite a while until we can get that second Nexus Cannon shoot off. But I think that it will be able to clean up 2 Marines. In fact, Medevac has just left them there to die. So, yeah, ProfFrink, not a fan of his Marines. Not valuing their lives very highly. Has just sent everything to die. And that was some fairly good defense there by SolidLuck. Well, he held it off with minimal losses. Got a couple of probe kills. 9 probe kills, actually more than I expected. And a Stalker, that's something. But he still has the worker lead. And he cleaned out all those troops, so there's very little for ProfFrink back at home, which he should be able to see with those 3 observers, of which one's at the base, one's at that base, and he's really worried about Widow Mines. 1 observer for each Nexus, but he can see the Widow Mines at the front, and he sees how empty this base is, so he can just continue to build up on his economic lead for now. As for ProfFrink, let's see, has he got another plan coming in? He's just building more Widow Mines and Medevacs, might try and make another go of it. However, with all those observers, I do think that Widow Mine drops are not going to be the most effective at this time. Though what I haven't seen very much from players is a Widow Mine drop where you drop them, they fire off 1 shot, and then you just move them away so as to negate the sort of observer, just treat them as a 1 shot. Usually leaving them to die means that they're just going to die after they get that 1 shot, which seems a waste, but I guess the Medevacs are too valuable. You really can't risk losing those. And no missile turrets in the base at all. SolidLuck gets a really good scout off on it. This is why I like as Terran. If you're going bio, you've got engineering bays. A missile turret in your mineral line is going to both protect you against a variety of crazy harass and keep the observer from scouting behind your mineral line. So you may as well put 1 missile turret in there. I would really love to see missile turrets all around the base preventing any observer scouting, but by that point we're just getting into being cheeky and not being cost effective. Here's the next Widow Mine drop. I mean, the bonus damage versus shields, I love it. But it's a great choice against Protoss. But I think that SolidLuck has all the answers there. We still have 3 observers. We have the Relationship Corps. And theoretically, the sentries could create hallucinated units for the mines to proc on, but I haven't really seen much of that yet either. The hallucinations are regrettably underused, in my opinion. But perhaps there is a reason to it. Last time I tried to send out an army with heavy hallucinated backup to make it look scary, the hallucinations only lasted the time it took to walk across the map. So build the hallucinations just before you walk out in case they're scouting, and then once you get there, just before the armies attack, all your Colossus evaporate, and you're like, ah, shoot. What's he going to be afraid of now? And it's going in. He's dropping them all in the natural. Interesting choice there. Getting off some great probe shots there. And alright, looks like a Zealot and a lot more workers killed. This is actually given the worker lead back to ProfFrink, combined of course with his heavy economic focus. The observers following the army easily able to clean them up, but they got their shot off, and the medevac got out alive, plus a Viking. So yeah, I think this has actually managed to bring things back. ProfFrink is again in a decent position. I mean, SolidLuck still has all that observer scouting, but that's not everything. Widow Mines in the middle of the ravine, I love it. It's a great scouting, and because such a commonly used attack path, he'll probably get off a shot too. The observers set on follow, as they always are never at the front of the army, so there's a very good chance that even a properly equipped Protoss army is going to get caught off guard. Unless, of course, he has an observer right here, which can just see those Widow Mines. So perfect positioning place there of the observer by SolidLuck. It gets to see both base and the central ravine that so many armies walk through. This low ground, it's really a death trap. Anyone who just rushes through there because, man, we gotta get to the enemy's army on time or we'll be late. Don't have that perspective when you're traveling. There's too many accidents. And it looks like is SolidLuck going to try to start with a bit of aggression, or is he just going to try and clean out those Widow Mines? Ooh, not the best move. Did not have to take that damage. Alright, it's only 60 hull damage, but could have easily stayed out of the way. The Immortals have these only slightly more range than the Widow Mines. Oh, I thought they had... Alright, I was wrong. The Immortals do have the same range as Stalkers. But that still is one more than the Widow Mines, so if you're careful, you don't have to take any hits. Just one hit isn't that bad, but... Ooh, and now we got the Sim in. He's going to try and snipe the Nexus. Now, this was before those IM Cologne matches where Pult made it so fashionable to just snipe the Nexus and retreat. And maybe that's why he is not retreating here. I think he can take this fight, but it's going to be close, and there's a lot of warp and reinforcements there. Okay, he looks like ProfFrink's backing off. Ghosts are low on energy, but they did some great EMPs off there. With the Immortal shields down, the Marauders can actually do a fair chunk of damage there. Well, with the shields up, Marauders only do half damage to Immortals. Just too hard to pick that guy up. He must be particularly fat, can't fit in the intake tube. And now the drop in the main, very anticipated by SolidLuck, but there's not much he can do other than warp in Zealots. Now, he possibly could have taken that, but ProfFrink choosing not to engage. These are 2-1 Zealots, high armor, very good against the Marines and Marauders, really. You need to get some great macro and kiting. There's just not much room in there to maneuver. So backing off, dicey situation, doesn't want to risk it. He does have a slight worker lead. And the upgrades, again, a slight lead. So I'd say things are going pretty well for ProfFrink here. But these nukes, I have to wonder. Double nuke Ghost Academy. Looks like he's going to try some sort of cheeky play, sneaking ghosts in here maybe. There is a photon cannon watching the entrance here. If only he had like aerial reconnaissance satellite photographs and he could plan his insertion route, but unfortunately there's no call down battlefield intel aside from the extremely obvious scanner sweep. And we've got the Robotics Blade coming up. Very interesting twist here with SolidLuck getting Templar and then Colossi. Normally it goes the other direction. It's easy to get the Colossi up, and of course they're better against the Marines, whereas the Templar can really just take out anything when you get into the later on stages. Archons, charge lots. Some good EMPs from the Ghost there. Ghost in front. Not the best. Did not get the High Templar, which are way in the back. Did not quite get the sentries. And I missed what happened there, but it sounded like another attempted Widow Mine drop. Yes, another Widow Mine. Then where's the Observer? Observer lost its follow command. Now they can see it. And he's going to go up and finish off those Widow Mines before they do any more damage. ProfFrink's going for it. He's got some good EMPs. A lot of the army has lost its shields, especially the all-essential Archons and Immortals. And there we go. We've got the attack. Yep. This Sim, charge forward. A lot of darting around here at the lower end of the ramp, though. Not really making anything happen. Good call. The storms were good. And the army's size is actually much higher, I think, for SolidLuck. At the very least, there's a lot in these Vikings and medevacs for ProfFrink. Need some real damage behind that, and here it is, sitting back home. Taking a base. Probably can't hurt. Ooh, these cheesy little Marauders there. And there's the rocks. Looks like SolidLuck's going to try for a direct assault, but not through the heavily mined path. And Frink's on the other side. No, it looks like it's just SolidLuck's preparing for whatever might come. Those forward pylons, good reinforcing points, and also happen to be relatively cheap scouts. Just make sure you don't get supply blocked. 166 to 166. Karen's maxed. He can go for it. And he's going to split his army for the Doom Drop. Ooh. Army split there. SolidLuck could have gone and cleaned it up. Is he going to? Yes. Go in there. That's really a very small fragment of Frink's army. Is there just to delay them? Maybe. EMPs and there's micro there. And then, he gets a great storm off on the major army as it gets in there. And the reinforcement cell. And, funneling into that narrow throat to try and shoot the Nexus. Is that double Nexus cannon? There we go. Stuck between two Nexus cannons. Being torn up by Zealots as they try and walk over to an area to hit the Colossus. Ouch. Just terrible luck on this side army here. Cloak Ghost trying to get the double nuke off. And of course the secondary side army back here. That was just not enough. All the robotics facilities units crushing through and killing the fourth. The nukes landed. That's a couple of buildings down. He got those buildings. Half damage in the Twilight Council. Probably not worth losing his entire army for. And now SolidLuck pushing forward. With that army, still plenty of those robotics units. Not sure if he'll get the reinforcements across in time, but they're streaming in. So Colossus. And ProfFrink is his reinforcements going to get up in time. Oh no, it looks like he just hasn't been building. Got massive bank from both players here. But just not enough troops and idle barracks from ProfFrink. Not going to be able to hold this off. Protoss army regrouping. Really strange location. Zealots, SCVs pulled. Oh, it's looking terrible. Where did it go wrong? Still has plenty of resources. Production starting up again. There we go. And SolidLuck's pulling back. I'm not sure why. He just decided to pull back. He wasn't engaging along the Planetary Fortress line. He did clear off the fourth, but now there's another one over here with the Planetary Fortress. He still doesn't have his own fourth. Massive bank, but not at massive an army. Probably just wants to remax on the ideal composition. Not sure what that will be, but that will also give ProfFrink that same chance. As you can see, he's rebuilding that vital building that was destroyed, the Templar Archives. He'll have to rely on Colossus for a while. It was a Marauder-heavy army, and that might actually be something that would cost him a lot, but I don't really think it's all that Marauder-heavy. Still mostly Marines, then fair few Marauders. Of course, there are all these Immortals in there, which are also going to help, and looks like SolidLuck has rebuilt his army faster. He's moving in. ProfFrink does idle barracks, just not building what he needs to survive, which is units. And he's going to start off with Zelt Scout. Oh, he's moving out. Maybe he'll catch this in time. Maybe. And he's putting on a lot of tech labs. Looks like he's either going to be ready for Battlecruiser switch or Masked Marauder, which is always a good choice against Robo. Ooh, didn't do anything there, though. Lost a lot. Is he going to try and sandwich that army? No. Very small armies. Ghost, specialist, but not army destroyer. If only he had used his nukes there. He has rebuilt more nukes. He's ready to double nuke again at any time. Could be here, except that he lost one of his ghosts by accident and he doesn't need it. He's losing that all-essential fourth base. The natural is mined out. The main is mined out. The third is barely mining. He pulled those SCVs away. That was the only mining base for ProfFrink, who is really low on resources right now. It looks like SolidLuck just taking these relatively efficient engagements. Hasn't been going in for the kill when he can, but now, just his very slow and patient style has been keeping him alive. Oh, the nuke. The army. Recall easily clears up the army. Nuke spotted. Probes out of the way. And because it's only a single nuke, it doesn't even get the pylons. Ouch. Oh dear, the nuke's just not working. Why aren't nukes just winning every game? I don't know. But with that catastrophic loss again, we have a tremendous army supply problem here. Significant lead in army supply for SolidLuck. The work supply even trended that way. Surprised to see. And we've just got this scary death ball. Upgrades, you know? Not actually that great. ProfFrink is ahead in upgrades, but it doesn't help when he keeps losing his army like that. Nice Viking count. Not as much underneath if that's going to be a problem, but he could, if he pushes forward, get something done. SolidLuck has shown reluctance to commit so far. Planetary Fortress, just excellent against the Zealot harass. The pylon up there will be able to continue reinforcing that, but it looks like his army's going to give it a try. These are some planetary fortresses without the armor plating upgrade. I really do like that armor plating upgrade, and of course, without the range upgrade. But you don't really need the range upgrade. You'll never outrange those Colossi. No SCV repair. Looks like there's not much happening here. Without the army, he can't even recall. ProfFrink is going to lose his only mining base here. He's also going to lose this one to eventual Zealot harass. And the nuke, expecting the Protoss army to come back, but no. No, Protoss army not coming. Not going to try and save this with his army. His army is busy destroying Frink's base. And I mean, if that nuke had landed, it would have been amazing. But unfortunately, it seems SolidLuck has finally decided to just attack. It probably doesn't help that he left the Mothership Core at home this time. And there we have it, with all that production being destroyed. Very devastating. Here's finally the big army attack with some great storms on those Vikings. Excellent storms. The Vikings are retreating. They're going to keep the Colossi alive for a bit longer. Vikings retreated a little too far. Now the Colossi are alive and dealing massive damage to the Marines. And still more storms on the Vikings. Even more. The Vikings killed almost entirely by storms alone. This handful of Stalkers did nothing. And there's a GG from ProfFrink as that base got cleaned up by Zealots. And wow, just a great game here. I love to see nukes being tried to be used, but every time ProfFrink did it, he lost an army. 4 nukes, basically 4 armies lost, and so that lead that ProfFrink managed to edge out, it just pulled back and eventually SolidLuck when he finally attacked. That one time, ProfFrink was just relying on that nuke to hit the army. SolidLuck was actually attacking the main for once, and well, that cleaned it up. So, great back and forth game here, which gives National Instruments the 3rd and final victory, winning this series for Team National Instruments. Well done, guys. We, of course, played the remaining 2 games just for fun and to fill out the playlist so that no one suspects a thing. Feel free to watch them next.